Fortune, fame, mirror fame, gone insane, but this album still remains. They've added some fuel, they've added some drums, but at the end of the day, this album still sucks. Cowboys and Indians, Maidenslave here. Today I'm going to be talking about Reload by Metallica. I pretty much came to the conclusion that this album has a few good songs on it, not the best songs that this band has ever done, and then the rest are fillers. So in my opinion, there was about 4 songs on this album that were good. Fuel, Unforgiven 2, Where the Wild Things Are, and Attitude. And I know some people are probably going to disagree with me on the last 2 tracks, especially with Attitude. And I will admit that those tracks are not as strong as Fuel and Unforgiven 2, and probably are considered to many of you just to be filler tracks themselves. And that's the thing about fillers. They're very polarizing because some people love them and some people just, hear them as filler. And I'm definitely one of the people to pretty much hear them as filler. Sometimes I will like a certain thing about what would otherwise be considered a filler track, and there's just something that I like about Attitude. It's very catchy. I really like the chorus on there, but I will say it's nothing too special. But yeah, those are pretty much the 4 tracks that I actually enjoyed listening to. Fuel, that's one of their most popular songs at this point. I don't think it's the strongest track they've ever done, but it is pretty good. It is pretty original. It has that funny intro in which James actually says, "Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire," contrary to popular belief, which is give me fuel, give me fire, give me jabba jabba dabba da. So glad that we could go ahead and clear that up. It's called Google, in case anybody was interested where I get my knowledge. But it was a pretty good song, pretty catchy stuff. The Unforgiven 2, in my opinion, the best track on the entire album. This song actually tends to be a bit polarizing because what it is pretty much a twist on the first Unforgiven, lyrically and musically, and it's a lot more bluesy and it's a bit more country. It's almost like, especially in the beginning, just like a bluesy country cover. But that only lasts for a little while. Most of the song is really good. It has some of the best lyrics on the album by far. Some of James's best lyrics, in my opinion. I really, really like how James ties the 2 songs together, especially with the chorus. He uses the whole 2 concept, but not just the number 2. For those of you, Where the Wild Things Are, to me, is probably the most experimental song on this album, and one of the most experimental songs that the band did during this period. It has a very dark vibe to it, and to me, that was good already, that they would kind of venture so far away from what is actually comfortable for the band. So for that, I really enjoyed it. I do just like the creepiness about it. I like the guitar sounds. I like James's voice. Some people might find it to be obnoxious. Like I said, it's not the strongest track in the world, but it definitely stuck out to me whenever I listened to the album. And the only song that I actually did not like at all on this entire album was The Memory Remains. And this is one of the most popular songs the band has done. They did a video about it. It's pretty much, the intro is in every single documentary you'll ever fucking see about Metallica. Unless it came out before this album, of course. But since then, it's just everywhere. It's so popular. And as far as the critics go, they liked it quite a bit. And to be honest, I never really liked it. I never thought it was that great. Never dug the whole intro. I never dug the guitar riffs or the solos. But, when I listen to this album, I actually listen to the song all the way through. And to be honest, I'm still a little bit confused about the song. Maybe some of you guys will help me out in the comments, but it featured a guest vocalist on the song, Marianne Faithfull. And apparently she's the one who does the little, like, la, 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 that little part, which I absolutely hated. It was like nails on a chalkboard. And when I first listened to it, I thought it was James singing through, like, some kind of effects, basically making his voice sound a little bit higher. And it comes in the first time about 2 minutes in the song, and to me, already it wasn't that strong of a song, but then it just stops dead in its tracks as soon as it gets to that part. It's bizarre, it's just experimental in the wrong way, and it's annoying. And to be quite honest, there's very few times that I'm listening to music, especially music that I like, which is heavy metal, that is annoying. It's really annoying. So that completely killed it for me. I just do not like the song. And just to add insult to injury, it does it again at the end, and it just keeps going on. I was trying to listen to it, and it just keeps going on and on. And so at the end, the band's not even playing. You just hear the vocals going, yeah, 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 yeah. And it's like, I honestly was thinking, like, are they honestly trolling us? So in my opinion, every other song on this album is B-sides. I'm not going to say filler, because to be filler, you have to be able to fill a small spot on an otherwise good album. To me, this feels a lot more like the B-sides to Load. Some bands do this, actually. The Red Hot Chili Peppers did this with their Stadium Arcadium album, which was a double album, a really good double album, probably my favorite double album, and they actually had B-sides to the two albums. So they put the third CD out later, and I listened to it, and the songs weren't terrible, but they just were not nearly as strong as everything else that was on the album. I don't hate these songs, and I know I've seen it already, that there's people out there that love some of these songs. I mean, some of these songs are probably their favorite, especially after somebody criticizes it. They just become their complete favorite. And I'm sure I'm going to get people saying, I kind of agree with every other song, but this song right here, man, this is it. But I think the thing that we can all agree on is the fact that, I picked Attitude. Some of you guys will pick Devil's Dance. But then you'll throw out Attitude. For the most part, this album has a lot of weak songs. It has some good songs on it, but overall, it's very, very weak. I'm going to give Reload by Metallica a 3.5 out of 10, and I will see you guys next time out of 10.